cold outside. All right, hi everybody. It's been a really long time. I'm just getting Aspen's food ready for her. Little Miss is on a bit of a diet because we just took her into the vet to get her teeth done. Hi, baby girl. She's right down here. And she's weighing in at a whopping 70 something pounds. Not good. That's what happens. Ugh, and my bangs are just driving me absolutely bonkers. Anyways, you guys are getting me today because I haven't posted in a year and I figured that it was time. Aspen, you need to leave it alone. Her favorite place in the world, the pantry. Yeah, so just gonna get her food ready and then we're gonna have a little chat because it's been a really long time. And I have some updates and some pretty exciting stuff that's gonna happen, so.
What is it?
Oh, yeah, you're hungry. I'm gonna get you your food. So, a lot has changed. I know that I've been gone for a really long time, and I appreciate anyone who's still here, actually, because, yeah, it's been a long time. And I realized that I took a very big break from YouTube. A lot of different reasons that I won't get into, but a lot of which had to do with like my mom's recovery from cancer and the fact that this year has really just been kind of boring in a sense. I was finishing up my PhD and a lot of that last year is spent trying to get your research on paper. So it was a lot of work on a computer, a lot of writing, and it's kind of cool because I have a lot of publications out there now, but it's not great for filming. So I never really felt that inspired. I did do a field season this year and quite a bit of travel actually for conferences, but I don't know. I needed a break from YouTube. And I just remember starting YouTube and I was so like passionate about doing videos, and then it just became a job, and I don't see YouTube as a job. I see YouTube Anyways, I see YouTube as a more of a hobby, something that I really enjoy doing. I like educating people, putting out content that's helpful, and putting out fun content when I have stuff that's really interesting. But this year just didn't have a lot of stuff going on that I thought would be extremely interesting for people. So I didn't film a lot, but I am coming back because there's a lot of really fun things that are going to be happening in my life, and I just want to document them on camera because it's something that not a lot of people go through in their life. So quick recap. In December, I defended my PhD. So I'm officially a doctor, which is really cool, but kind of weird because it feels like, I don't know, there was this like very gradual transition into it. It's not like immediately you feel like one day you're not and then one day you are. It's, I don't know, in a PhD, it's very gradual transition. So it felt kind of underwhelming for me, but officially done. So I'm going to be starting my big girl job very soon, and that is actually going to be happening in Norway. So I, as well as Aspen, am moving to Norway to start working on a postdoc, which is what normally a PhD does after they're done. Typically, you do 1 to 2 postdoctoral positions at different universities to, I guess, basically like, we're gonna try this again. Hopefully without having someone having their dog off leash right in front of our house, running around in our front yard. Aspen was going a bit crazy. So anyways, I'm gonna be starting a postdoc position in Norway, and what that is it's basically a way that universities get away with paying you a lot less than what you're worth. It's the same as like a doctor going into residency, right? And they don't make a lot of money. So it's like this requirement basically this requirement to get a whole bunch of more publications under your belt and show that you can like bring in grant funding and research funding and all this stuff. Anyways, you usually have to do at least one after your PhD. So I took one in Norway working on reindeer health, which is really exciting, really fun, but a big, huge change. So me and Aspen are preparing to move to Norway, and a that's been quite a ordeal. So the visa process has been really long. It's also been very complicated for a country that is generally thought to be quite advanced, right? So, and I expect that any country moving there is going to be a bit of work, but there's a lot of things that are very like backwards almost. Like you can't, there's this ID number that you need in Norway that you are required to have for absolutely everything. Like you can't get a bank account without it. You can't get car insurance without it. You can't buy a car. You can't rent a property without a bank account for your security deposit, which you can't get without this ID number. And you can't get that ID number until you actually move to the country, and you have to go into like the tax office or the police office, something like that. And then you can't get that number until 3 weeks after you've moved. So they expect you to be able to like provide your own transportation, provide your own accommodations, get around without a bank account, like using a foreign bank account for almost a month after you move. So that's really different and like quite backwards in my mind, but we'll make it work somehow. And yeah, and then Aspen's gonna move there end of May, because I felt like with all of that turmoil and like trying to figure out all of this stuff, setting up a new house and everything, it would be better for her to stay here while I do that, and then get her over there. So right now I'm waiting for my visa, which was a huge process in itself, unbelievably expensive. And I wound up having to travel to Vancouver because you have to go to a specific visa application center for Norway to submit all of your documents. And then I had a whole thing happen with the plane ride, which was so stressful. And I will never, ever, ever travel in between Christmas and New Year's ever again. I had my flight canceled on me the morning of, so I woke up at like 7:30. We were supposed to leave at 7:45 because I live 2 hours away from the airport. And at 7:30, I like logged onto my email and they were like, "Oh, your flight's been canceled." So I like panicked, had to book a brand new flight because the airline that I was flying with wasn't able to offer me a flight until 3 days after my original flight, which my visa appointment was the next day. So now I'm having to deal with this whole like fighting with the airline, trying to get them to cover the extra cost of the flight that I had to book, because I had to book on the day of, in between Christmas and New Year's. So a flight to Vancouver cost like almost $1,000, which was insane. And yeah, and then I got to the visa application center and I like got all the way there. And the guy was like, "Oh, actually, we don't have anyone that does the Norway visa applications here right now. They're all on vacation." And I was like, "I have a verified appointment time for today, and there's nobody here that can help me." And he's like, no. So eventually we figured out that someone that does the French visa applications had done a couple of Norway visa applications before, and she was going to come in the next day. So then I had to travel all the way back to Vancouver, downtown Vancouver, the next day and submit my visa application, and then I was able to come home. But I've been waiting for a month now, and haven't heard anything back. So it's long and stressful for me because I am just like my dog. I am like I'm the classic example of a person that has a dog that is like the mirror image of themselves. Um, Aussies are workaholics, and I'm sadly also a workaholic, and I really enjoy working. And for me, like the the like best form of torture is to have absolutely nothing to do in a house and just sitting around and doing absolutely nothing. Which for a lot of people, that's wonderful. Like for a lot of people, when they go on vacation, it's we're gonna sit on a beach, do nothing, go to an all-inclusive resort, and have drinks on the beach and just be served. And for me, that is like the furthest thing from an enjoyable vacation that I can think of. For me, it's like I want to have everything planned out. I want to go to a place every single day, hike, do camping trips. Like I need to be out doing things or working. So I've actually written 2 papers since being done the PhD in this past month because I can't stand not doing anything. So that's where I'm at right now is I'm just sitting and waiting for this visa to get approved, which could happen any day now. But I figured that I would start videoing my experience because it's going to be really cool and something that I want to remember for a long time. I'm going to a completely new country, and I'm also walking into a totally unknown situation. I have signed on for a rental property. Thankfully, my landlord was really quite kind in not requiring a security deposit before I arrive because, like I said, that whole issue with that ID number, you can't get a bank account. And in Norway, you need to have like a specific bank account set up for your security deposit for a rental property. So he has understood that I'm international and that I can't get that set up immediately. Thankfully, or else I wouldn't have a place to stay. But I've never seen this place. Like I'm walking in kind of blind. I've gotten a couple of photos, but it's a small farm in Norway, and I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. Like that's my dream is to live on a small farm. I am not a city person at all. I love nature, and to be kind of in a more remote location for the next 2 years on a small farm with my dog, or shall I say dogs, which is a hint because something might be happening in the very, very near future that Aspen might not be all that thrilled about for the first few months, but hopefully she will grow into it. But yeah, hint, hint, dogs. Yeah, so anyways, that's where I'm at. I am maybe going to do a video on like transporting a dog on an airline because I think that would be useful. I think a lot of people have to do that at some point in their life, at least if they're not willing to give up their animals, which I for sure am not. And yeah, I think that it would be a helpful video. But we'll see how this journey goes. Hopefully, my visa will come soon. And I just wanted to update you guys on where we are, what our life is looking like, and what's coming up next. So I will see you guys very soon. All right, bye.